and got a job working in production. And sort of one job led to another. I'm just very lucky. I've always felt that my life has sort of been guided by necessity and the willingness to just say, sure, I'll do that. And I was working on a film called King of the Gypsies for a man named Frank Pearson. And I had done a lot of research on gypsies and even went to a gypsy wedding. And when I saw all the actors that were coming in, I said, gosh, they don't really look or feel like gypsies. And I went, casting, I could do that. And so Ralph Waite, if any of you remember the TV show The Waltons, Ralph Waite was an old boyfriend of mine from New York. And I called him up and he was on the Waltons. And I said, can you help me get a job as somebody's assistant or whatever it's called in the casting office? I think casting could be a really good job for me. And he said, well, he has $1 million and he wrote a film and he's producing it right, starring in it and acting it and directing it. Why don't I cast it for him? And I said, because I don't actually know how to cast anything. There's SAG rules and I don't even know who to call. How do you get the actors in? Because I was so not successful as an actor that I didn't even have the concept of agents. And so he said, go to the Screen Actors Guild and get the rule book and read it. And unfortunately, they no longer, they used to have a little blue, like those college test books with the soft blue paper on the outside. They used to print the rule book. And I would sit there and read every single line about drop and pickups and how many days and blah, 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 and have turnarounds. And so I really understood those rules. They no longer just dole them out, but I think that they're available online at sagafter.org. And so I was in the right place at the right time. And because of my understanding of acting and had some perspective of the production end of all of it, I sort of took to the whole thing like a duck to water. And one job led to another. And shortly after that, I was working with a wonderful woman by the name of Jennifer Shull at a production company that Ray Stark, very well-known producer, was running. And my soon-to-be partner, Janet Hershenson, was Jennifer's assistant. And I came in at the tail end of working on a picture that she was working on. And then Francis Coppola called her because she had worked with Francis earlier on. And Francis was just moving down from San Francisco to